So now what I'm going to do is run lead 1. So we've got both leads, pictures, a CEF, functional questionnaire, and we've spent a lot more time with him than anybody in medicine has, because their time is very limited. So we can be a very a safety net for the patient, the doctor, and myself. We're working together. They're helping us and we're helping them. But only a dentist can do what we do as far as the appliances and the treatment. So we better be working together. We can't do it all by ourselves. That's really reckless. So we've taken the blood pressure, the pulse, and the pulse is on the lower side. It can go down below 50. It was just at 49. We started doing appliances. The skin temperature could be, a sensor from our equipment could be placed on his feet, and you can actually measure the skin temperature change. Most of the time they just tell you, man, I don't have cold feet anymore, or cold hands. The pressure being low can do that. The oxygen is, the pulse rate is slow, and so it's probably some of the medication you're taking. I don't know, you take anything for the heart itself, through the AFib you do, right?
Yes.
Okay, so some of this may be a part of the medication, and we want to share what we're seeing with the doctor so he can adjust everything. I had one the other day, was a cougher for 6 years, and she went to Mayo Clinic, and everywhere her husband heard me give my testimony, Christian businessman. So she was introduced to me by her husband, and long story short, the EMT had her on Neurontin. The Neurontin is also known as gabapentin, is highly addictive, and she was hooked. And so one day when she was here, she's having a coughing spell. We adjusted her clients using the vital functions, and at 10 o'clock, we tuned the cough out. So I quickly called him and wrote a letter and documented that had by accident happened, but would he consider the other 2 feedings that, I think it was like 10 to 4, I don't know, 3 different times. So we had a deal that when I got her off the drugs, she'd bake me a chocolate cake. And so I was really praying he would come across with the goods, and he did. He told her how to do it, and she had some withdrawal effects, but we had great success getting her off the medications by adjusting the appliance at the time she needed the drugs. So you have to work with the doctor. Some guys are hard to work with, but you do your dentistry safely, and you inform them with letters or emails, document that you're communicating, even if they won't, and suggest maybe they find somebody else that will communicate. All right, so things we are looking at are very subtle. This machine does not have a filter on it, so some of the activity that I look at and use to see how well our appliance is filtered out in most other equipment. You can get it unfiltered, or you've got a switch on some of them. You can even switch it from filtered to unfiltered. I'm very interested in the subtle changes. And again, I stamped these strips with, this is a dental OSB EKG, not for diagnosis, so that people understand I'm not treating. It's very close, 131/75. It's not too far off. We're going to get all of this information before we start. It's very important. It covers your backside, and it also covers the patient. It also gives you information to communicate with the doctor, and they're very impressed by that. They probably never had a dentist be that attentive. Now, the next visit will be basically dealing with the delivery of the appliance. The sequence is: first visit's a consult. It's free. There's no obligation. It's loaded with information. Many times, like Jim, they decide to go on and do it. So that afternoon, I could get records, and the next morning, I could put it in. So we have all kinds of ways, from a practice management standpoint, to take advantage of the patients. Half my practice is people out of town. I mean, Canada, Florida, different airports available around us. So it works nicely to have somebody come in, spend a week. Other people, they're working and they get a day off, they want to see something in the morning, and then if they we have a spot which we usually kind of try to hold for getting some records so that we can get this thing going, and then next time they come in, we deliver it. And we see them shortly after that. You're going to hear this over and over again. They're going to shift. We want to catch that shift. It's not the plastic that changes, it's the patient that's changing. Hard to understand that at first, that you're actually expecting all of this stuff to happen, but it does every time. It's just the way the good Lord made the body. It's just like the sun coming up. You're pretty sure that globe is going to come up over the horizon. It's going to come from the east and set in the west. So what we're doing is very predictable. It seems a lot, but after you've done it a couple times, it's see one, do one, teach one. You know, you get your staff on board, get a couple of them feeling a lot better, you're feeling better, you're going to change the world. And so we're doing this before Jim has any work done, because we are going to change a lot in his mouth, and I'd like a baseline. We're going to actually make him an appliance. Jesse's waiting to finish it up and get it delivered to him. We'll go through that with you too. So the sequence of events is that we know what symptoms he has, how he's doing, and we know his vitals, and then basically we put the appliance in and see how we're doing. Gesundheit. Dog just sneezed. So the deal is that its dentistry is its best. It'll just get better. I'm sure this will change in time, and we want to change with it, but I just want to share with you what you can do, and the patients feel it. They know that your heart is to get this situation as best as optimize their function and activity, how they feel, how they sleep. It changes their whole life. So you end up with a different relationship than I've ever had with my patients, because of the way that you're actually affecting the whole picture.